Nice to see you again. Let's continue with section 3 of this video series. Now we have looked at how to create our auto-marked or question type based assessment. We've looked at configurations specific to this kind of test. And now we're going to look at the cheat prevention steps that are also specific to this kind of assessment. There are two things here under cheat prevention which I have turned on. The first shows cover answered questions. Now what does this mean? Well, it means if Bob, Jemima and Mary are sitting next to each other in class and all three of them are answering the same question, the moment they've answered their question, it gets covered or grayed out. Let me show you how this works. If I click on my eye here, and I can preview my test, let's click Get Started and go to question 1. When I click on an option, it will grey it out. However, if I toggle my mouse over my answer, I can see what I've written or selected and go back and change it if need to. So that is how the greying out feature works. But what if you have a lot of students sitting in your classroom? So you have Bob, Mary and Jemima and a few others all around them. You can take a further step in cheat prevention and randomize your question order. This will shuffle your questions around so the students will be able to answer all the questions in their assessment, but in a different order. In this way, you have multiple layers of cheat prevention to help you when your students are taking their assessments. We then, of course, have our different lockdown modes, which are common to both our PDF or Word-based assessments, as well as our question type-based assessments. And remember, it is you as the educator who will select the lockdown mode in order to make sure it meets your assessment requirements. Please do remember that we always recommend the high lockdown mode for any high-stake examination, and that will mean your students will need to download SEB for Windows, our native Mac application if using Mac devices, or our native application for Chromebooks. If you are not sure of which lockdown mode to choose, please remember you can click on this handy information block at the bottom here and it will take you through the right lockdown mode to use. Well, all there is left to do now is save my assessment. And with that, I wish you happy test creation, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.